Well, hi. Let's get this sorted out. I pressed a button just as I was about to go live and everything's gone wrong, so I've had to turn off all the sound on my machine, or you get loads and loads of feedback on the background music, because I tried to log into the chat and it started playing the background music at me. So I don't know what's going on there. I've turned my speakers off so you won't be able to hear it. There we are, that works. So you can see me, can hear me, presumably. Yes, excellent, everyone can hear me. That camera looks bob. Let's sort that out. Properties, configure video, camera control, focus. Why does it always default to autofocus? No likey. Apply, there we go. And yes, much better. Excellent. Brilliant. Yes, here we are. On an auspicious day, because it's our very own Mick the Machine's birthday. Happy birthday, mate. Hope you're having a good one. I've got an idea for a present for you, but you're going to have to wait until not this weekend coming, but the weekend after next, and you can have that. Happy days. So, I'm here, you're here, Mick's here, Jamie's here. Hi, Jamie. Commander Autism, you're here. Hi, you. Kevin, you're here. Also, hi, you. Who else is here? Anyone else here that I haven't said? Well, hi. If you're here, great. Hi. Oh, An anonymous tip from Anonymous. Thank you, Anonymous. Really, Anonymous? Right. Okay, that might be something messing up. I should get a notification for who that was from, but or possibly not. I don't know. Anyway, yes, here we are. I am here. Thank you for that. And I am putting a miniature on this thing. Hello, Mrs. Mick. Oh, right. Well, thank you, Mick. There we go. Mystery solved. This I put together the other night. I thought I need to put something on that. I've added this to it because I thought, well, what can I add to that? And I thought, Space Wolf. Where am I going to do Space Wolf? As if by magic, Wolf Corgi on my birthday got me this dude. So I'll be painting him up in slightly more closer to a studio style than I normally try for, but with a grimdark twist, hopefully. And I'll be popping him down on that. So we've got our thematic Thousand Suns helmet there with dust coming out of the bottom because, you know, they're weird like that. Hi, Chris is also here. Excellent stuff. Right, I didn't prime him, so I'm going to need to do that. He is there. I've also got various bits still in the sprue because sub-assembly appears to be the way forward with this chap. So I'm going to crack on with that and turn on the zap gun. There we go. Guess what I found? I found the other day. Hi, Wolf Corgi. I found the other day the thing I was looking for that big tank I was doing, and that's this stuff. This would have given me the right grey for it, so I'm going to use it on the Space Wolf instead. There we go. You're going to behave? The answer to that is no, you're not going to behave, but we're going to try and get as much onto the miniature as we can before you stop behaving. That's not coming out clean. Right, let's try a bit of that in there as well. Oop. This is not a precise science. I wish there was a set recipe for getting it right so that it comes out of the nozzle clean each time. Unfortunately, there is no set way of doing it. Just got to kind of, there we go. There we go. That's better. I note that a bunch of people have been providing me with pictures of miniatures for critique and such. That has not been forgotten. Thank you for that. I will get to that as soon as I can. It's been a bit busy at work lately. That is a thing that will happen. If when you're posting these pictures, if you want to ask anything specific about them, about a particular area you'd like critique on or help with, that might be able to help guide me in the sort of thing you're after. Otherwise, I'll just offer a general critique, I guess. How are we all doing this fine evening anyway? It's turned autumnal, hasn't it? And there's a certain there's a definite nip in the air tonight. I suppose it does turn autumnal at the end of summer, around sort of autumn time, so that's not really saying much, but you know, there's a definite nip in the air. It's getting towards the time when, ordinarily when we could still afford these things, we might consider putting the central heating on. I think that will be a thing of the past for a while. Okay, so let's let that cure for a bit. Nowhere near long enough as you're supposed to leave primer to cure, but we haven't got that long. I should have primed it earlier, really, but like I say, busy at work. Right, so we've got a couple of options for this this mini in terms of colour. Space Wolves these days seem to be a sort of a weird sort of blue-grey, whereas they used to be a sort of a grey-blue, more grey, much more grey than they were blue. But that seems to have changed in the 90s, and now they're definitely almost sky blue these days. I don't like that. I don't, or at least I thought I hadn't painted a Space Wolf before, but I have. I painted quite a few way back in the day because I had one of the old Wolf, what were they called? It was the first set of bespoke miniatures that came out for the Space Wolf line, Wolf Brothers or something, I can't remember. Anyway, they're tactical squads. I had one of them and I still got some of those kicking around, but I can't remember how I painted them. And I remember back when I first started back up with painting, I did this chap. I spent an hour or so on him, I think, trying to base it on a more sort of grey rather than blue-grey style. I kind of like that, but I can't remember how I did that either, so that's useless. I don't have the Space Wolf grey anywhere. I've looked. Not even. I haven't got anything close in the Army Painter range I've got. So I had a bit of a play with Lighthawk Gloom and a few other bits, and I ended up with this, which is very dark looking, but I think I might be able to stage that up a bit, and I might not have to use the Nighthawk Gloom. So we'll see where we end up. We will see where we end up. I might try something completely different. Actually, yeah. Let's live dangerously. Let's try something completely different. what we're going to try is, let's put you somewhere a bit safer than where I threw you. We are going to go with, that's the compressor complaining. We're going to go with some of that Stonewall Grey, and we're probably going to mix it with, oh gosh, let's get that gack off there. Probably going to mix in some, yeah, that'll do, Drakenhof Nightshade. So we are going to pop, so that's air colour, so I'm going to pop that in the airbrush. Stick a bit of that flow aid in there first. Yeah, I'm still in my shorts as well, but there's definitely a nip in the air. There we go. So that's coming out clean. So what we're going to do is pop the lid on that for a sec and get a little bit of, this is Drakenhof Nightshade. We just need a tiny bit of that. A bit more than that. Got a pipette that works, maybe? Okay. That pipette's not working, so we'll throw that away and we'll use the old ways and grab an old brush. This should be a bit, needs to be a bit more precise than it will be, but hey, it is what it is. So mix that in there. Okay, it's getting a bit more blue, blue-grey. More nightshade in there. There we go. That's getting there, isn't it? I think. A bit more maybe. On a fairly deepish blue-grey. There's some grey getting my Drakenhof there, but I don't really care. That's a decent bluish grey. So let's get that on the marine. Did I just spray that completely off screen? I bet I did, didn't I? It's all over, I think, but mostly where the armour is. behaving a bit like a little bit like a contrast paint there. I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. I think what I am going to do though is I'm going to add just a touch more blue from a source. Let's maybe use a bit of, no, let's not use that, that's a silly idea. Give me a sec. Sage purple, don't need that. Ultramarines blue, never. Right, I kind of wanted some more Leviathan blue, but I can't find it, so we'll stick some more of this in there because I want to get some shading going on from underneath. So we'll just add a couple of drops of that. That's way too much. But you all saw that happen. You all knew that was going to happen, didn't you? Yeah. Nobody told me. Why didn't you tell me? That's the kind of shade I was going for initially. Whee! Right. There we go. It's a kind of a deeper battleship grey. This is me just blowing air through this to try and dry off the previous layer. So you see what I'm doing there is I'm just going from below. It's just like a reverse zenithal, I suppose, just to get some shading going on there. Here we go. I'm going to leave that in the airbrush for the time being because I want that to hand, because I'm going to use that for pin shading as well. Because I'm just going to stick some. Well, that primer's not brilliant, is it? Oh well, we'll work with what we've got. What was I? I was after a nice deep blue for the. Rather than going with a red cloak, I was going to go with a blue cloak, which has significance in Norse mythology. I'll find the right blue there. So I might end up going with red after all. That's that Achillean green. That's not really what I'm after. On the list of projects for me is a large paint rack that can hold all my paints in an organised fashion so I don't have them in really useful boxes jumbled up. I feel that this will help me find the paints I'm after a lot easier than I am able to at present. But that is something that will happen down the road. Okay, scratch that idea, we're going with red. Okay, I'm gonna go, that's volley paint, that's no good to me. What's that? Flesh Terror's red and Ball red. Could the blue be here somewhere? No, don't be silly. It's okay. Just have to hope nothing I don't actually need any blue. Right. Okay then. Right. That appears to be slowly drying. Get a nice. I had a nice newish brush somewhere, which I've now lost. I may actually use that, maybe, which is an army painter base coating brush. That'll do. Right. I think we're going to start by painting the undersuit. We're going to do that in rattling grime, maybe not. There's siliconum grey there. What's that? Abaddon black. It's too black. Yeah, black Templar. That'll do. Yeah, that sort of thing, Wolf Corgi. That's what I'm after. But it's justifying the cost at the moment, and I can't really. Let's get that in there. Can't quite see what I'm doing. Put some more light on the subject. Tell you what, my eyes are getting worse. That, and I don't think this base layer is quite dry yet. So we're just going through the model and picking out the undersuit where we encounter it. I think this base layer is still a bit wet. And this is kind of why the notion of doing a studio painting style on a live stream is doomed to failure, because they spend hours and hours and hours on their minis, and I have 2 of them. And it is important not to underestimate the value of leaving paint to dry before applying the next layer. But we'll do as good a job as we can. I say we. You guys painting? You better be. Not painting tonight. Gosh, what else are you supposed to be doing on your birthday? Come on, get with the programme. JD, God, things aren't that bad, are they, Mick? Oh, did you not get some Ockentoshin? I recommend all these good whiskies for you, and you're still drinking JD. What's going off with you? Come on, boy. Although I suppose it's what, the turning 21 for the 30th time or whatever it is for you. That kind of does that for you. Senility getting to you, mate. That's what it is. Lamenters after the orcs are packed away. Lamenters are good. We like Lamenters. It's a challenging scheme. Oh, there's the new brush. Right, well, we'll use that for the yellow. So yellow? Yeah, let's... I'm going to go with red first, aren't we? Yeah. I'm going to go with bile red first. Yeah. I am actually going to try and do some proper layering and highlights and stuff on this for this mini. If I can get a decent base coat. I have a horrible feeling this scale 75 is reactivating, which is not what I want at all. At all. And this is the stuff that's supposed to work with their version of the speed paints, the contrast paints, which are called instant colours, I think. Yeah, instant colours, there we go. Not tried them, but if this primer is anything to go by, I don't think I will be. Oh boy, that's not great. Do I still need that airbrush? Yes, I do still need the airbrush on. So this is the ball red contrast, which is a nice. I think this is one of. Yeah, it is one of the monopigment new contrasts. So you get a nice vibrant red out of it, which I'm now going to wet blend with some flesh tearers to get the deep shadows going on. I'm almost glad I couldn't find my my blue now that I wanted to use. Let's get some flesh tearers in there. And because the ball red is still wet, we can get a little bit of a blend going on. And because they're both contrasts, they will behave like contrasts, hopefully, and go where they ought to as contrasts. Yeah, this primer isn't great for contrasts. But hey, you live and learn, eh? I think, well, I hope that is part of the charm of this particular live stream, is that you get to see someone who's not a fantastic painter, but at the same time isn't terrible, making mistakes, and then trying to fix them, which is a lot of what painting is. If you don't make the mistakes, you don't learn. It's going to need a second coat of ball. But that flesh tearers and the recesses is adding some nice depth to the colour, and I'm quite happy with that. And it is mixing with the ball, so I just need another coat of ball on the raised areas to blend in. And I think we'll probably be okay with that. Yeah, it's getting there, isn't it? A bit darker on this because it's the inside of the cloak, so it'll be in the shade of the body and what have you. What's going on in chat? And I think you're doing another Space Marine chapter to do next year. Kind of like the idea of doing a rogue chapter. So Dark Angels then? Or some Dark Angels. Not all Dark Angels. Hashtag not all Dark Angels. There are other options out there. Carcharodons are interesting, depending on how far down the rabbit hole you want to go with kit bashing. You've also got Minotaurs, which are interesting, and as far as I'm concerned, very much fall under the auspices of a rogue chapter. Because they are a word I'm not going to say on this podcast, this live stream. Right, where are we going now? Are we at least dry now? Kind of, I guess. Right, okay. Now we're going to do some rattling grime. Put that down there. A bit of water. A bit more rattling grime. Just going into the recesses with it. Rattling grime's kind of like got a Nuln Oil kind of like finish, maybe with just a touch of Agrax, so you get the little note of brown as well. So Unlike the new formulation of Null Oil, it will actually stain a bit more than the new formulation, so it's a bit more like the old one. So it's a bit better for using for shading. Look at me trying to be neat. See, I can do neat, kind of. Oh, these runes, runes everywhere. Runes for days. That's Othel, I think, which means home. That's Sigil, which I believe is a rune representing the sun. And that is Tyr's rune, which represents Tyr, the god of justice and battle. Well, they're all about battle generally. Sigil, which is the, oops, see if I can get it, there we are. Sigil is the S rune. It's also used in protection, often used in certain protection mind runes. I will stress this is by no means my bailiwick anymore. I used to express an interest, but not so much these days. I used to be a full-blooded pagan. But that's not where I am at the moment. So I can half remember a lot of stuff about runes and such. But let's pop that aside. Get the main event. Try not to get fingerprints on the cloak. That's asking for trouble. That's paint pot was at a very weird angle, asking to get knocked over. Just in case anyone was thinking I actually freehanded those runes, I absolutely did not freehand those runes. They are carved into the miniature. I just filled them with paint. Apologise if I'm not particularly chatty tonight. It's particularly when I'm doing this bit, it's a bit, yeah, it takes a bit of concentration to get the paint more or less in the right place. Otherwise, you do things like that. We should be able to get that sorted with the highlighting stage. Just trying to get the shading done. But hey, you seem to be chatting away quite happy without me, and that's good. That's what we like to see. More of that kind of thing. Let's get a bit more of this rattling grime. Let's use that as the base shading colour for my base shading colour. Gosh, I'm talking nonsense. The base colour for my wolf cloak here. You can see what that's doing. I think, folks, what's happening here is I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to need a new prescription on my glasses. So I'm having to move the miniature further and further away to be able to see what I'm doing, which isn't ideal for keeping things in focus on the camera, but I'll do my best. These things happen as you get older. As Mick will be able to tell us as he edges closer to retirement. He's lucky enough to have seen most of the Queen's reign. "26 years? No, we don't retire in our 90s. Well, we might have to retire in our 90s. That's if pensions still exist when we retire. We might have to go and hurl ourselves off Beachy Head. And a sort of ritual, you know, like the Vikings did back in the day. We don't have any fjords though, so Beachy Head will have to do. Oh, next year then. Oh, congratulations. Oh, right, you're 40 in a pig's eye. Nice try. We're starting to get there on the shading slightly. This Rattling Grime's winning me over as well, in the same way that Gargax Sewer did for... This is like a colder version of the Gargax Sewer. It's jolly useful. Some colour going on the backpack. Get some shade going on. God, it takes a long time to do studio style, or anything approaching it. And here's me using a contrast version of Studio Style as well, because I've not got the right. No, I've not got the right paints for the base shade layer highlight malarkey they do. So we'll revert to whatever works, but we're going to try and achieve a slightly cleaner look than I normally achieve. Oh, there you can see the rune on there. That's Felth, I think, which is the first in the Norse alphabet. Feoth or Feo or something. Feo, I think. Which, weirdly enough, is where Foo Fi Foam comes from, the Jack and the Beanstalk thing. Ancient Norse rune magic. In an English fairy tale. Not a lot of people know that. These guys are just dripping in fur everywhere. And considering there are no wolves on Fenris, and considering what the werewolfy monsters are, you've got to ask yourself why they just delight in covering themselves in wolf fur. I mean, that's next level kind of icky, if you know what what the wolves actually are. And I'll leave you to look that up if you don't. Let's get some metals laid down as well. Base for the metal. I'm going to use rattling grime, because rattling grime So much for studio style. Well, it won't be as dark as I normally go anyway. And I want this to be slightly more sort of display PC than field ready, because I'm not going to be using them on the tabletop. I don't think anyway. I've got no immediate plans to start a space wolf army. To get some more paints if I did. No. No. Not in this economic climate, my dude. If I had more spare money around, I would do it, possibly, but I don't. I'm having to be quite economical, as are we all at the moment. And that's an entire political rabbit hole I could go down, but I won't. I would love to be able to buy whatever I want and just paint whatever I want. That would be amazing, but it's not going to happen on a government wage. Let's put it that way. Right. red even dry yet. Can't work out whether that's wet or just a shiny finish. Well, let's make that decision for it and make at least part of it wet. Which is exactly what she said. There we go, that second coat of bar is really just sort of making it all pop and come together. That's working very well. I'm just going to, no, you sit over there, I'm just going to drop you off the table. You guys talk to your paints, right? That's not just me, right? Right? Of course, if I suddenly got to 1,000 subs and 4,000 hours of viewing, I could monetize, and that might be able to offset my hobbying somewhat, and I might even be able to get on that Games Workshop sending me free stuff gravy train, which would be even better. I think I need to produce more content for that though. Lots more. And much better quality. I don't know. They might be. They might be getting rid of it. Because some people are the reasons we can't have nice things. And some people think NDAs don't apply to them. Which is a shame. But you know what? I think all in all in this hobby, I have seen more to restore my faith in humanity than to ever make me question it. On balance, there are some genuine bellends out there. And there we are, there's my PG-13 swear drop for the evening. And they not only ruin it for everyone, but they make it miserable for certain people. Or they can make it miserable for certain people, which is just not on. And we'll have less of that kind of thing in this hobby. Don't know whether you were aware. There's this thing going on Twitter and TikTok, Instagram. There we are. That's the thing I'm on. Where somebody was having a pop at one of the female painters for posting lots of selfies and suggesting that that was the reason they were popular and not because of their work, which is just bang out of order in anyone's language. So if you're on Instagram, there's a hashtag called Faces of Warhammer, and I encourage you to go on Instagram, take a picture of yourself holding a miniature or doing some hobby or whatever, take a selfie, post it up, use that hashtag and show some solidarity, because ain't no room in this hobby for that kind of gatekeeping. That's just rubbish. Yeah, Jamie, that's exactly it. That's why people are doing that. It's having the effect of just flooding Instagram with people's faces with miniatures. Which is good for various reasons. It's good to have a face, generally, because it's not very healthy not to have a face. But good to have a face to put to some miniatures, just in case you meet up in person. There we are. I think that's certainly getting there from a cloak perspective. That's like actually looking very rich and very good. I'm happy with that. I don't think any of the people watching me on this live stream are the sort of people that would go on Instagram and have a pop at people for posting pictures of their faces. But on the off chance you are that sort of person, have a word with your ass, word with yourself, give your head a wobble, whatever you need, and stop doing it. Not big, not clever. What people post on their own Instagram pages is none of your business. Getting the nice brushes out now. This wraith bone I've just got out. I'm going to go around and try and pick out all the little skulls and things, and I'm going to do that flesh as well whilst I think about it. Yeah, unfortunately, Jamie. Unfortunately. I could try and pin it on a particular strata of the gaming community, but I think it probably extends far beyond that, and it wouldn't be very fair of me to do that. Even though that particular strata of the gaming community are very much less than desirable, generally. The hobby does tend to attract them. Let's get the Mohawk blocked in as well whilst we're here. That most Viking of haircuts. Mind you, they're not really space Vikings anymore. They're sort of weird space wolf fetishists. Who also like runes. Fairies, maybe. We're not going to judge them. We don't know what they get up to with the wolves when the battles are over and the mule is flowing. That's between them and the wolves. I really am going to have to start using one of those painting handles, but it's very hard to, when you paint using sub-assemblies, to use those. It's also very hard when you're not really giving your paint time to dry between coats. But, you know, This is the life I have chosen. Do I not entertain? Right. Coffee. Oh. $6.99 on Amazon, well spent there. Just got myself some pumpkin spice syrup. It is very good. I see lots of bones that I haven't painted. You go sit over there for a sec. There's a charm and a couple of teeth on the belt, on the leg here. Yeah, they are. I've got some white stuff somewhere, but I don't know where. As ever, I've everything I need, probably. Just, I don't know where it is. So again, come the great cleansing, these things will happen. And I will find these things. And there will be much rejoicing. May even find some minstrels to eat. That's a bone, that can be bone coloured. That's a bone, that can be bone coloured. There's an awful lot of bone on the back of this backpack. It's almost like they're like covering themselves with the bones of their failed battle brothers. I mean, what? I think going forward in terms of this live stream, what I might start doing is stop driving myself to try and finish or get a significant amount of work done on the miniature in the course of the 2 hours. I might give myself a few projects that I'm working on, and whilst I'm waiting for the paint to dry on one, I'll flip to another, because I'm conscious that most of you who have expressed an opinion join to listen to me chunter away, watch what I'm doing, rather than joining to see a finished outcome necessarily. And I might lean into that and take a little bit of the pressure off myself and slow down. I might produce some better work, because I'm conscious that what I produce in the live streams is not really much cop compared to the stuff I produce off the live stream. when the pressure's off and I'm not trying to talk to you as well as paint. That makes sense. That makes sense. I'll still chunter away, but I'm not going to try and. I think it's probably an idea if I didn't try to make too much progress. What do you reckon? Answers in a postcard. If you're watching this whilst it's not live, stick it in the comments. Let me know what you think. Are you content to watch me chunter and not really make much progress on a miniature, or do you want to force me to try and get something done in an hour, or 2 hours, or however long this thing is? 2 hours, 5 hours, 2 hours. Let's stick with 2 hours. Because I know somewhere, if I say 5 hours, someone will go, well, you should do a live stream for 5 hours. I'd watch that. Because I know what you like. And I have done a 5 hour live, 5 year, felt like it, 5 hour live stream. So if you want to experience that, have a look. It's on my channel. And I didn't get much complete in that either. But that wasn't just painting, that was assembling and all sorts of other stuff. What we're going to do with that, I'm going to get it in focus so people can see what was going on. What we're going to do with that, we need to improve at painting bones. Can you elaborate on that, Mick? Where are you going wrong? Or where do you think you're going wrong? Or what are you doing when you paint bones? Painted bones look crap. Oh, well, good elaboration there. Well, you know what I do with bones, because I'm about to do it. That's wraith bone. Wraith bone goes on the bone, and then you get not that. Although you can use that, it's a very similar colour. Good heavens, did I put it away? Nope. Where are you? It's out here somewhere because I was using it not long ago. Is that it? That's it. Use Agros tunes? You do? Oh, don't use that. It's similar, but the more bony colour is that. You give that a good shake. And put that mainly in the recesses. Tap it away from the raised areas. Well, Agros Tunes isn't too far off this. This has just got a bit of extra. It's just a bit lighter, a bit paler. That's all. This step is what you could do. So you put your paint on, your contrast paint, and then just tap your finger on it, which will get the paint away from the raised areas. I don't always use this. I also use Agarose Dunes. I also use my brown liquid. It depends on the age of the bones I'm going for. The older the bones are, the darker they tend to be, down to, well, the sort of that almost. Almost black. There we go. It's a bit hard to see with the focus, but and with the exposure on the camera, but it looks bony to me. That dabbing your finger on it can be used for any colour really. Just to get a bit of instant highlight. Then you can leave the paint to dry, and then when you can, if you want to, deepen it down by going over it again with the same contrast. But where you've dabbed the paint away, you've still got that highlight. It'll still be a lighter shade of paint. It's good for bone, it's also good for string. Contrast paints are a very useful tool. You can just slap them on, but if you're a little bit neat with them as well, you can also produce some interesting effects. I'm also going to use it for the back of that wolf pelt. Because this also works for parchment and all sorts of other stuff. Tanned skin. Right. These wolf boys are distressingly Caucasian. So what we're going to do, that's what I normally do for it's Gilliman's flesh, that's not what I need. It's not even the right sort of paint for what I need. One moment. That's not it. That's useful. I didn't know I had that. Gold grunt fur. Ooh. Is that it? It's been staring me in the face all along. There it is. Reichland flesh shade. Oh. Now, normally you'd put this over Caucasian flesh contrast, like Gilliman flesh or Fire Slayer flesh or contrast Dark Earth flesh, or you know, actually that's kind of distressing. I've not noticed that before. Well, it's not occurred to me before. All of their flesh colours are all Caucasian. All of them. Yeah. Do better, GW. Do better. If you want a darker flesh tone, then you're into your gold grunter furs and bestial browns and leather and yeah. It's not ideal, is it, G-dubs? Not ideal. Yeah, that's Reichland flesh, straight over Wraithbone. And again, this camera isn't focusing particularly well on what's going on here. I wonder if I can, maybe if it's a light level or something. Show more what's going on? Yeah, slightly more. Yeah, it was looking a bit washed out. Yeah, so if you want a quick and easy, like if you're doing loads of guard or something like that and you want lots of pale Caucasian tropes, it also works really, really well straight over Gracie as well. But we'll highlight up from there and try and make it a bit more fleshy. If I was doing a skin properly, I would start from a red and work it up from there. But I'm not going to do that tonight. That might be another day where I just paint a head for an hour, because I can do that, and I have done that. Alright, this guy's a ginge because somebody's got to be, so we're going to go with that and lean into it. Oh good heavens, that's rather vibrant. That's really vibrant. Okay, we'll be dry brushing that. That's crazy vibrant. That's monopigment vibrant. What's that? Magma Droth Flame. Yeah, I think that might be a monopigment. I think it's one of the new ones. I've got some of that on the brush. I'm going to bring up the very raised areas of the coat of the cloak cape thing. Just slap a bit of that on the very tops. Should add another level of richness to it. Boom. Whip that across the edge to pick out the edge. There we go. Just a bit of grey still there. Oh, and there. Right. I've noticed there's not a lot of detailing on the mohawk for this guy. It's just sort of a plain crest, so we'll try and work in a bit of texture for that as well, if we can. I think that's most of our base colours down. Let's start working on some highlights, I think. He is indeed super ginger. I'm going to do something about that in a bit, but first I'm going to get some highlighting onto this this boy. For that, I'm probably going to use this actually. It's a primer, but we'll make it work because it's kind of blue-grey. It's kind of where we need it. I'm just going to stick a bit of water down to dilute it a little bit. And we'll maybe chuck some extra medium his way. This is pretty much, it's medium's medium. Well, medium's not medium. This is kind of like a thicker, slightly thicker version of Lamia medium. And we're going to create something approaching a glaze. Where's my tissue? Right, there we go. Get that going on there. Come here, feet and legs. Right. Think about where the light's coming from and just slap a bit of paint there. brush going to where you want the highest, the brightest point of the highlight. So the light's coming down towards the foot from that way. I want to be pulling towards me. And the same there. You can actually just dab this stuff down. If you get the consistency right, you can sort of dab it down, and it will, as it dries, it will naturally find its, naturally create gradients. And these big Mark 6 leg plates, lower leg plates, can be a bit problematic for highlights. But again, you've got to think where the light's coming from, and you create a highest point of light as a single line going down the leg plate. From top to bottom, one line. That's literally where the light's striking, and from there you can blend out. Again, I'm not particularly good at this, but I can show you the technique, and you can practice it and perfect it yourself. You see what you get, what's going on there? I don't know whether you can see what's going on there. In fact, that's a little bit too subtle for the camera, but you can keep laying colour on top of that and glaze it up to where you want the highlight to be. Still bringing it back to that one line down the... It's a cylinder, basically. And there'll be one point closest to the light, which will be brightest. And you blend out from there. And I'm probably wasting my time because this is probably inside the cloak, but hey. And while we're there, we can start chucking on some of the edge highlighting as well. Edge highlights are tricky to get right. I find it's generally best if you can get the angle right and use the side of your brush rather than the tip. But I'm no expert when it comes to edge highlighting at all. I generally don't bother for anything other than the character miniature. But guess what? This guy's a character miniature. Let's get highlights in there as well. Line highlight there on the foot. And we can turn our attention to the other leg and the other foot. with a single line if we can. But this back leg's a bit further away from the light source, so you don't need to go in so hard with the highlight. You're just creating a sense of shape and texture. Going in there. You can go at this for hours just building up highlights and knocking them back down again and building them back up and knocking them down. And that's generally where the pro painters spend an awful lot of their time to achieve those spectacular pro finishes, but I'm not a pro. I might be a pro as far as eBay is concerned. Pro painted, mate. You don't have to be too neat here actually, because I'm thinking about it, I'm going for a slightly more grimdark style. The odd stray brush stroke with the highlight creates the sense of nicks and dents and texture, and an uneven edge highlight can do the same. Oh, I hate these mini marines, they're so fiddly. It's the real reason why we paint Primaris. Right, okay, that's the legs more or less done, so let's get some highlighting done on the upper torso. A bit more medium. A bit more water mixed together. And again, start glazing up with the highlights. So again, we've got the light coming down from this general angle towards the Mini, so we're looking to pick out edges that might catch the light from there. And you're also looking for edges that might need to catch some light, call it reflected light, just for the point of emphasizing them. Because whilst you can try and recreate reality with these things, it's that way madness lies, I find. There we go. So that initial level of contrast created by doing the shading with the deeper blue underneath, blue-grey underneath is coming into its own now. Don't need to highlight them because they'll be going under the Marine's actual shoulder pads. Gosh, is that the time? Well, doesn't time fly when you're having fun? Or when you're getting lost in what you're doing anyway? Am I kidding? I am actually having fun here. Building up highlights. And you just keep building and building and building. And if you go too far with them, you can knock them back with some shading and then build them back up again. And spend as much time as you want doing this, but that is not a luxury I have at the moment because I have to get up for work in the morning, ridiculously early in the morning because I have to go into the office. Yay! So I will be, once I can put down the paintbrush, I'll be signing off in a moment. You can see the highlights starting to come together there. Tivoli's in Nottingham. I don't think I have, actually. What is this thing? YouTube. Sorry, I just realised I haven't done something that I wanted to do. I'm going to try and do that. Settings? No, not settings. Close. That's not it. Here we are. Customization. Live chat replay. Okay, it's already set up. That's good. Okay, I didn't need to do that. It's a place from around 30 years ago. I wasn't in Nottingham 30 years ago, not quite. Certainly 20 plus years ago I was. I came to Nottingham in 94, I think, for university, and then got stuck. Although that does ring a bell, now you mention it. What was it, a pub or bar or... You don't mean Tivoli's, do we? Do you? The restaurant? There used to be a Tivoli's Italian restaurant, and that closed about 20 years ago. Near Rock City. Oh, now. Oh. Yeah, possibly. That was kind of... Oh, hang on. Girls on roller skates. No, you lost me now. I don't remember that at all. Oh, hang on. Nah, maybe. Why? Where's this going? Possibly. I mean, I'm not saying no. Well, I was in Rock City a lot in my university years, so it's possible she may have seen me, if not met me. But I looked very different to my Rock City years, as did we all, no doubt. 20 years have left their mark. Right, anyway. I'm going to carry on with this off camera, and I'll post up pictures of it at some point, I think. But for now, I'm going to wrap this up because I do need to get up fairly early in the morning. So thank you all for dropping by. It has been a pleasure as always. Another happy birthday to Mick. As always, if you are not subscribed and you like what I do, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, like it, comment when it's offline, all that good stuff, because it all helps support the channel and encourages me. And I will see you next week for the next one. Yeah, so I'll give you a final look at this guy. So we're starting to build up the highlights on him. I'm liking how that orange is turning out on his cloak. That's had a nice sort of final level of highlight there. I'm going to do something with his hair because that is way too ginger. And yeah, keep your eye on Instagram. I'll post it up there. But ta-ta for now.